What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 12th installment of Wrestling Hypothesis Extra, the secondary show of the Wrestling Hypothesis podcast, here for your Wednesday, October 14th, 2020. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm the APA, of course, and joining me this week, as always, Ricardo, who actually is back with us, joining me to do Extra again this week for the second week in a row. I think that's a record.
Kenny's been MIA. Huh? So
yeah, since last week's Extra.
Kenny wasn't with us. Kenny wasn't with us this podcast episode, and he isn't here for this extra episode. Wow.
Yeah, we're still holding out hope, though, that he's going to be able to
put respect on my name for the guy who made Extra famous, okay? King Kenny, my ass. He said, there's levels to this. Shut the fuck up. Keep going. Let's go.
All right. The king won't be too fond to hear that, man, coming from you. But all right. You'll see what's coming. But before anything else, guys, gotta say this real quick before we do anything else. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on the series whenever we drop throughout midweek, of course. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video to all your friends if they are curious to hear more takes on wrestling. If you haven't done so already, you can check out episode 39 that was posted from this past week, or any of our older episodes over in the archives using any of the platforms we are available on, as well as visiting our own website, anchor.fm/wrestling-hypothesis.
That's right.
Let's get into the news.
Before you continue, Abba, on our next episode of the Wrestling Hypothesis podcast, I'm going to troll Kenny so much based on Saturday. You'll see what I mean. You will definitely see what I mean this Saturday, because he hates this specific person as a player that he just won his 4th championship, right? And is the real king, okay, of this particular brand called the NBA, okay? So that's why I just wanted to splurge on right now. Go ahead, man.
You have to get that in there, huh?
Damn right. Kenny ain't here on this one, so I'm going to do it on the podcast.
All right. Anywho, so let's discuss some wrestling. So first off with this less than stellar news that I'm sure everyone's heard already by this point, that all read everything. Eva Marie is returning to WWE. This was first reported by Cultaholic, the YouTube channel and the online wrestling website. These reports were since confirmed by other news sources like PW Insider, they have pretty good credibility over there, who said that Eva was in Orlando, Florida for this week's TV tapings and underwent medical testing on Sunday to enter the Thunderdome. They also noted that WWE and Eva Marie agreed to a deal back in September last month, although it wasn't clear whether she would come back to continue pursuing her in-ring career or be used as a personality. She parted ways with the company and pro wrestling back in 2017. At least that was what we thought at the time. And we are unsure at this point when she will reappear on our television screens. I don't know what the hell WWE thinks will be accomplished here by re-signing her. They are coming back to reacquire one of, in my opinion, the worst pro wrestlers I've ever seen in the years that I have been watching the product. Is this some big get for them? It's not even like she became this big celebrity with all this star power that will translate to swarms of new fans for WWE when they decide to bring her back.
I'll say this, right? Well, first, based on what you said she's honestly, bro, she is the worst. I'm talking about she's number one. Okay, all right, that's number one.
There's a legitimate argument for that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, I got you. I got you. But in terms of Eva Marie, I don't know why she wants to return back to wrestling after you said 2017, correct?
Yeah.
When me and you heard news that she remember this time when she left WWE? She didn't even want to return back to WWE. Remember that? She said that herself. But she wants to return to WWE. But I'll give her this. Because I follow her on IG. I've been following her for over like 2 years. The reason why I followed her, because just in case for people that doesn't know, I'm a personal trainer, right? I give her credit where credit's due that she made a name for herself in the personal training industry. She's one of the ambassadors of the Arnold Classic bodybuilding competition. her, Mark Henry, to some degree, The Rock, in terms of the Arnold Schwarzenegger bodybuilding competition, the Arnold Classic, right? I give her credit where credit is due with how she made a name for herself outside of the business of WWE, right? But I think the reason why she went back to WWE is because she wants to, I guess, like, use her athletic ability due to the training that she's been doing for the past 3 years in WWE. And I guess she views WWE as the creme de la creme of using your pure athleticism in the ring. Is either that, or this is how I'm going to view it. Would I like Eva Marie back in WWE? No. Would I like her to be a wrestler? No. But we possibly, I don't know about this. I'm just saying it out there. She could possibly be used as a manager. You never know. Because if there's something if there's something that WWE lacks that they honestly need, especially what we all miss, it's managers, right? It's managers. I'm not saying she's a good talker. I'm not saying she's a great wrestler. I'm not even saying that she should be walking back. But the fact that they are doing this, they'll be like, yo, let's see what you got. Let's see what you have now that you didn't have 3 years ago. That's how WWE is seeing it through Eva Marie. Right? That's what I think. That's the reason why they're trying to redo this. Like, there's like pretty much saying like, yo, let's run it back. Let's see what you got now than what you didn't have back then. So that's pretty much all I got to say about Eva Marie. I love Eva Marie as an ambassador in the bodybuilding format in the fitness industry, but as a person in WWE, and for her to go back, nah, I ain't a fan with that. Well, all I'm going to see is let's see what she could possibly bring to the table that she didn't have 3 years ago.
Right. And to go back to your point earlier on what you were saying about them bringing her back as not an in-ring talent herself per se, but as a manager. I mean, maybe she did get better at talking.
Exactly. That's what
Maybe
I'm saying.
she did.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like,
because I give
God
her
knows. Yeah, go ahead.
She has the look, without question. She has the look. She has the swag, right? But like,
right.
and I'm not hyping her up. Don't get me wrong. But like, I'm just like, I just want to see what you could bring different now that you didn't bring 3 years ago. And like I said before, that's what WWE is looking at. What can you bring in now, right? Because like, she's still cool with the females in WWE that's in here today. She's still cool with them, right? And pretty much like, yo, let's see what she got. I'm not entertaining her as a wrestler because I don't want to see that. I honestly don't want to see that. But I think you would agree, Abba, if she's there as a manager with a particular superstar, you're like, okay, let's see what you got. You would give her a chance. You might honestly give her a chance. Like, you be like, I would at
least consider it.
Yeah, exactly.
Give her consideration on giving her that role.
Exactly.
Yeah, get her feet wet in the wrestling business once again. That's as good as ideal a decision as to utilize a talent or lack of talent in someone like Eva Marie in wrestling.
But honestly, you got to give her this credit too, in terms of Eva Marie. It's honestly more of a business decision more than actually going back into wrestling. Because remember, she has her own brand, right? And there are folks in the WWE that would love to be sponsored in one of the brands that she's in. Remember, like Sasha Banks, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin, they're all sponsored by Mega Fit Meals that I also do personally. That shit is fucking delicious. By Mega Fit Meals that are sponsored through personal training and through the meal prep industry in terms of training, right? Eva Marie is almost in that particular line of work to some degree, right? If she can bring folks from WWE into her brand, I mean, that could work. And that's what I'm saying. So that's why I also think why Eva Marie is contemplating of coming back to WWE. Not because of the wrestling. It's to also uplift her brand. So I can't knock that. That's a great business move.
Yeah, and we all know for damn sure WWE loves to drive home their business aspirations. and to get their name out there. But yeah, just to close it off on this news, Eva Marie is trash. I never want to see her I never want to see her inside a wrestling ring again. For as long as I live, I never want to see that happen. But that being said, listen, I agree with Ricardo's sentiment here that this is more of so a business. This is probably more so a business move on her part and WWE's part to a lesser extent than it is as another to use her as another face in the women's division to boost it up, because she ain't doing no boosting at all to the women's division, which is just severely underutilized, beyond severely underutilized at this point.
She don't got the swag. She don't got the wrestling ability. She don't got the proper attire. She wasn't ready, and that's why like we're questioning this decision. But like I said, for sure, it is what it is. We just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is that if Lana is the number one contender currently as we speak to Asuka's Raw Women's Championship, you know there's something wrong. You know there's something wrong. And bringing back Eva Marie is just going to be another major step back for the women's revolution that the tagline that they love to promote so heavily. Right. So this is nothing to get excited over. This is something to be fearful of, if anything.
We'll see what happens, man.
That's true. Only hope for the best there. Onto some other news, and maybe even more bizarre piece of wrestling news going on right now. Joey Ryan was fired, as we all know, was fired by Impact Wrestling back in June. The promotion he was a part of until recently, like I said, in June. This was in the midst of the speaking out movement that was in full gear at that time, and many wrestlers from different promotions were accused by one, sometimes a handful of women, of sexual harassment or sexual misconduct. Joey Ryan was one of those men, as 3 women came out just recently and accused Joey of these allegations. This was followed, of course, by like 15 plus or so more accusations towards Ryan back in the early stages of the speaking out movement. He lost his job as a result, and response by filing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against his 3 accusers, claiming that his reputation took a drastic nosedive after these allegations came out and could no longer find any more work, as promotions wanted no part of Joey Ryan and the negative stigma he now carries with him. Can't say I blame these promotions with the allegations, if you heard them, that was alleged towards him. And furthermore, this is all just for one lawsuit that he filed recently, as he decided to file yet another multi-million-dollar lawsuit towards his former employer, Impact Wrestling, and their parent company, Anthem Wrestling, for breach of contract. Specifically, we're talking $10 million here.
This is, to some degree, not entirely though, this is kind of reminds me of when Velveteen Dream was being accused of sexual allegations towards women. Remember when we had an episode about that? Not too long ago.
Well, we tackled the legitimacy of it all, yeah.
Yeah, the legitimacy of all of that. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have that much info. You have it more than I do, so I'm pretty much asking you, like, has there been any proof of the accusations or any allegations based on him on towards these women? Does he have a history of these sexual allegations towards these women?
Well, if almost up to this point, about 20 or so other women out there come out and accuse him of sexual misconduct or harassment in any sort of way, then yeah, I'm willing to believe that's the case, that he's done something with these women.
But my thing is any of it true? Because you said, all right, so this, just to clarify, there's like 20 or so women, correct? Okay, but and these are just this is just an additional 3, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So my thing is, is there any truth to that? Like, has any accusation or allegation has been proven that he's actually done it.
Well, I don't think there's any concrete evidence of the fact, but maybe it's just because I haven't done proper research on it.
Okay.
And you got to realize something.
I just,
not everything has to be laid out for your average Joe Schmo on the internet, because that's dangerous shit right there.
Okay. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it's almost the same reason we said the same shit about Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream had almost not as much women, but like he had the same sexual allegations towards women that Velveteen Dream had. And he had sexual allegations and accusations, but none of them were like validated. No evidence of proof has been shown to Velveteen Dream, and he's obviously been brought back to WWE, right? And excuse me, and Joey, what's his name again? Joey
Ryan.
Thank you, Joey Ryan. In Joey Ryan's case, his is more elevated because it's the more additional women to his case. Because you said there's 20 of them. And my thing is, like, I honestly believe in the phrase, you're innocent until proven guilty, right? You're innocent until proven guilty, right? I'm saying, like, when I hear accusations and allegations, I believe in concrete proof. I believe in concrete evidence. And the fact of the matter is, if I don't hear if I don't hear any concrete evidence due to the sexual allegation that has been made, that I'm like, yo, I'm not saying that there's a reason to fire him, or because you don't want any outside news getting into the company, and that's respect that, and I can't knock him for that. Right. But for Joey, he's suing TNA for $10 million due to breach of contract, right? I don't know if he's gonna win that case, because I'm like, bro, it's you versus an army. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
It's you.
I mean, that being said, that's not to say that nobody has ever won. Like, no one or two wrestlers ever won when they decided to file a lawsuit towards a wrestling promotion. But this is pretty serious shit. I don't think Joey Ryan is digging a huge hole for himself he's not going to get out of anytime soon.
It's him winning this case is slim to none. Yeah. It's pretty slim to none. And
although it wouldn't surprise me too much if they end up settling out of court for a much lesser sum. Right. And for his case, like, it says for his reputation, I was like, bro, when I heard about that dude's reputation, he's complaining, I'm like, bro, in the world of sports, if you're getting sexual allegations through multiple the amount that has been launched at towards him, no less, I'm like, forget it.
What do you expect? What do you expect? Right? Obviously, your reputation is going to get a hit. Obviously, your popularity is going to go down. Obviously, people's not going to look at you the same due to these allegations. Oh, but the thing what he might have to do is he has to prove his innocence. Exactly. That's all he has to do. If he proves his innocence, that none of these accusations are true, then obviously his popularity and reputation is going to skyrocket because he's proven his innocence.
I mean, I highly doubt that
no. What I'm saying is
women.
No. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I was just going to say that I highly doubt that the near 20 women that have come out and accused him of all this stuff, of sexual harassment and whatnot, it's just turns out to be this one big conspiracy of like women that are just upset over him. They've had their experience and they're like, fuck it, let's accuse him of some BS and ruin his life.
Yeah, but exactly. But that's my point, though. That's my point. It's been proven throughout the years that there's been multiple women that try to get at people's money by making either false or by making either accusations or allegations towards, like, oh, through sexual assault, like he beat me or he raped me and shit like that. And next thing you know, the women that you're trying to hear from them, they're MIA. They're missing, or like they haven't said a word. And this is why I'm viewing that, because like it's been proven throughout history. It happened to Dream. It happened to multiple wrestlers that we talked about through our past episode on the podcast, that nobody has stepped up and shown proof of these sexual allegations and accusations. And that's how I'm viewing it. Right.
But at the same but I don't want this to turn into a whole argument, a whole thing about it.
No. This is not an argument. This is a discussion.
I just don't want it to turn into that, because I feel a little bit differently than what you're saying here, and that is the case that, dude, not everything, we don't know the whole story. Like, we don't know what actually, and I'm just going to get to it. The fact that we don't know if any of these women, especially the 3 recent women that came out and strongly accused them of some strong shit of what Joey did to them, that they didn't file police reports. Maybe they probably did, and it just hasn't gone on the internet and for us to see, the public. Maybe they want to keep it out of that reach.
Yeah,
for obvious reasons.
No. But the thing is, the moment you accused him on the internet is the moment that you made the case public. All right. So that's the moment. The moment you accuse a person online is the moment you made the case public. So guess what? You have to show the police report online. You have to show X, Y, and Z on what he did. You have no choice, because it would have never gone public if they kept it behind closed doors, and then out of the blue they showed it to the public.
I'm not so sure about that. Because you know how the social media age is.
No. What I'm saying, bro, I'm
Things
talking about
leak easily, man.
No. I'm saying if they kept the case behind closed doors, and think about it like this. If let's take TMZ for example. TMZ could be like this. You're like, yo, this person was accused of rape, and out of nowhere they got concrete evidence that he actually did it. Like, I'm talking about, and view it like that. If the 3 women did it like that, then I'm like, okay, you got it. But the fact that they made the case public by accusing him that he did sexual allegations, now it's up to the women to show proof that he did it, and they could have showed it through the internet. That's what I'm
right. Right. I get where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I don't think we're entitled to know anything about that. Even if they do make it public, I'm just saying, it's like, if they want to push it out there for people like you and me to see, and all others, then so be it. You guys go ahead and make it public. Maybe the fact that for all we know, it might have started out as a private investigation, and then someone decided let's just splurge it out over the internet for everyone else to see and make it go public. Maybe that wasn't the intention.
You are right that we don't know all the facts and details, and I give you that, no question. But all I'm saying is that, like, in terms of people accuse folks, I'm talking about in a general sense, and I'm talking about because it's mostly women that does it more than men. That's a fact, right? In terms of women doing this to other guys,
right? Because how often do you hear
men doing it to women
on the side? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's pretty rare. But not to say it never happens, but it does happen. But it's pretty rare compared to the other side. All I'm saying is, if you are a female that's accusing of a guy that's doing sexual allegations or even rape or whatever, you need concrete proof to show what he did, right? You can't accuse someone, blabber it online, and you don't say nothing, and you don't show proof. And if you don't show proof through all of that, it just shows that you're trying to denigrate his character and his career and trying to ruin that man's career, right? And that's what Joey is saying, right? And that's what he's trying to prove. So he's basically saying this: if these women don't show proof, then I'm like, yo, you're trying to ruin my reputation based on something that I didn't do. And it goes to Joey of suing TNA. I still think he's gonna lose that TNA case. That's just me. But like it goes to show you that, like, yo, I didn't do this, and there's just these people out there just trying to ruin my rep when he didn't do it in the first place. So that's the bottom line of it. We'll see what the day's gonna come forward when the news pops out. Until then, it's pretty much what he said, she said, right? All right now, all you need is proof, and that's what the females has to do, right? Like I said, you're innocent till proven guilty. Until you prove that he did it, Joey Badass got to do what he got to do in terms of suing TNA. Dude, Joey Ryan.
What I said his first name. That's enough. That's enough. Right? Right?
We're not talking about the rapper. We're talking about the wrestler.
Of course, the wrestler. Of course, the wrestler. But that's what I mean. But like, Joey Ryan, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Like, Joey Ryan got to do what he got to do, and the women got to do what they got to do. It's innocent till proven guilty. Show the proof, and if not, they don't have the proof. Then Joey Ryan wins this.
Yeah, like I said, maybe we just haven't done our research properly on the matter, and maybe there is fucking concrete proof.
No. All I'm saying, there's a severe lack of evidence. That's what I'm saying. It's severely lacking. Severely lack. That's what I'm saying. It's he said, she said. Someone got to show proof. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Despite that, though, I don't know, man. It's just Joey Ryan absolutely does not. Honestly, he should be just whitewashed from wrestling completely because if the allegations turn out to be true, of course.
You're only saying if. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'm saying that if these allegations turn out to be true, and honestly, I'm willing to bet that they are at this point because you don't have 20 other women come out as a big swarm, and just like during the midst of the speaking out movement, when it's in full gear the way it was earlier on in the summer, and it all turned out to be BS. I don't think so because what does it say about those women, and what does it say about the principles moving forward of someone accusing someone else of sexual harassment?
But the thing is, bro, if 20 women accuse you of sexual allegations, and you are right in terms of how it's a bigger deal than Velveteen Dream, but the thing is, it still makes my case. I'm like, yo, I need to see proof.
Right, I get what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Maybe soon enough, all that evidence, a good amount of the evidence will come out, the concrete proof that you're waiting for.
Wait, do you know how long? I'm just asking because I don't know if you know, but do you know how long he's been accused of this?
Since June.
And we're in October. Yeah. We're in October. That shows you something, bro. That validates my case right there. If he's been accused since June, July, September. June, July, August, September. It's been 4 months since, right? 4 months, and no evidence has been shown, and that makes my case, bro. That's what I'm saying. You can't have 20 females accused of one man of sexual allegations. It's been 4 months of you showing proof, and you got nothing.
I'm not gonna say they have nothing, dude. It's just a case I haven't done my research properly.
No, I get it.
Honestly, I regret that. I feel bad for that. But
no, I truly get it. But what I'm saying is, like, through all the wrestling news annals, right, that they've been following this since June, and there's not one woman that's been showing proof that he did it. And that's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. Like I said, we don't know all the details, and maybe more are yet to come. But yeah, dude, it's not like it's okay to just rehire Joey Ryan back to the annals of pro wrestling just like that. This needs to be cleared up.
No, it needs to be cleared. It needs to be cleared up, and that's why Joey Ryan is doing it for his case because no one else is doing it. And right. That by suing TNA, which was the current promotion that he was in.
Yeah.
The fact that he's suing it for $10 million because of breach of contract, because obviously they fired him within the same year they hired him, right? The fact that he's being accused of these sexual allegations, and the fact that no one's been stepping up for these allegations to be proven since
we know
June.
Of.
Yeah, I know, but we know of. But since June, I can't knock the way he's feeling. I can't knock that.
All right, let's just move on from this before it escalates any further.
Shit, this should have been on the podcast. I'm not gonna hold you, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, with different opinions. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, Tara show up on Extra and shit.
Yeah, one of these days we gotta make it happen. We gotta get this trending. Hashtag get Tara on Extra.
Shit,
you gotta get that going.
You gotta have Tara on Extra one of these days. You can't have the first lady of the podcast only show up on the podcast, but not show up on Extra. The big three is holding it down.
Is that special though?
You know, I respect
that would be
her.
your
That's
argument.
my homegirl. That's my homegirl. But still, I'm just saying, bro. You know.
Yeah. We're gonna end off with this news, and that tonight will be AEW's anniversary show to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the launch of AEW Dynamite, which, as we all know, changed the landscape of modern pro wrestling forever, as it brought legitimate competition back to the pro wrestling industry, and namely towards WWE, which they have had not really a lack of competition since the dying days of WCW, where they finally closed down doors in 2001. Well, we finally got that. The competition, some legit competition from their end. AEW, though, is having a pretty stacked lineup tonight planned for the show, including Orange Cassidy against Cody for the TNT title, which, as we know, Cody won back the title from Brody Lee in that dog collar match last week, which was honestly a great match, and I was fine with the result of Cody winning, as Brody was made to look further like a star. And it was one of those losses where they didn't really lose anything in terms of momentum. So
that match was great. That match was so great.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be a quickly forgotten match in the annals of like the best matches of 2020. Honestly.
Yeah, it was early, but like it's whatever.
Yeah,
it was. I would say that's one of them. Like what's it called? Honorable mentions, but it's okay.
Definitely, yeah. Also lined up for the show are Big Swole against Hikaru Shida for the Women's Championship. MJF's career-defining announcement also planned, which is no doubt, if I had to guess, regarding the Inner Circle and where his allegiance stands. Does he want to join the Inner Circle? Does he not want to join? We'll have to wait and see for tonight. But what do you think is going to go down, man? That
MJF in the Inner Circle. That's
a thought right there.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. That would be fire.
Right?
MJF. Bro, he you know how much. I'm not gonna hold you. Before we get into the championships, I want to talk about MJF, right? Can you imagine MJF in the Inner Circle? He's practically taking Chris Jericho's spot. Like, seriously. And like that would make to me, that's a big deal. The reason why that's a big deal is because, number one, it will make, and this is the beauty of it. Chris Jericho would deserve a big break. I'm talking about like a vacation, right? That's how I view it. If MJF takes over Chris Jericho's spot, right, as not only a mouthpiece, MJF is a better mouthpiece today than Chris Jericho is currently in the Inner Circle, right? That's like, I'm talking about like right now, not overall, right? Right? Because I view MJF as the best talker in wrestling. That's just me, right? MJF will promote the fuck out of Sammy Guevara, Pride and Powerful, Jake Hager to a lesser degree. And not only, I think, to be honest with you, if MJF is in the Inner Circle, I think he'll propel them higher than Chris Jericho due to the fact that he's in that brand significantly. He's like the younger generation of that brand of the Inner Circle. Because think about what I'm saying this, bro. Chris Jericho, when we look at Chris Jericho, he's still a product of WWE. Like, to some degree,
he did spend the majority of his career there.
But hear me out. He's still a product, quote unquote, of WWE. That's how we view him, right? That's how we view him. If we put MJF as the sole leader of the Inner Circle, it will be like, yo, this is straight up AEW's faction, straight up. Right? MJF, Jake Hager, Pride and Powerful, Sammy Guevara. All AEW bound.
I wouldn't disregard Chris Jericho. Just hear me out. I wouldn't necessarily disregard Chris Jericho's his overall star power and the presence he brings to the Inner Circle and AEW as a whole.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not knocking Chris Jericho's what he's done for the Inner Circle, because he done wonders.
Like, don't get me wrong, MJF is going to do a great thing for the Inner Circle in that he is going to be that obvious next big star that's going to be elevated as a result of the faction, of being part of the faction. Not to say MJF needs to be. I don't think. Let me say it like this: MJF is one of those characters. He needs where he is doing some of the best work of his young career, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, he needs a little bit more of a push to be elevated. He needs to reach that next level.
Yeah.
There was a reason why a lot of people thought that MJF was not going to beat Jon Moxley at All Out last month for the AEW World Title, because
I
MJF
wanted him to win so badly.
A lot of us did, but at the same time, I kind of got why Moxley should have retained, because MJF wasn't quite there yet. It's still very early on in his young wrestling career.
But I think we could all agree, if MJF was in the Inner Circle being tutored by Chris Jericho, it's a game changer, y'all. It's a game changer. We're talking about if there was one person that would be the predecessor of Chris Jericho, it's MJF, without question. Like,
we're already dude, on this show, we're already dubbing him the future Chris Jericho, just a younger version of him.
Oh, no. He's the young version of him, but me and Kenny has him right now as the level of Randy Orton. We're talking about, like, that's what he is right now. And that's what people don't need to understand. That is fucking scary. So scary, to the point that MJF is, like, on Randy Orton level. I'm like, yo, if he's on Randy Orton level, can you imagine his ceiling? But, like, for MJF being on the Inner Circle, being tutored by Chris Jericho, it's a game changer in AEW. Having said all that, to the championships.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me just introduce the rest of
the
lineup for tonight's anniversary show.
Yeah.
There's also planning to be Miro and Kip Sabian in tag team action. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Miro. Like, I'm still trying to be patient with the storyline where it's going.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I'm just really not feeling it with this whole storyline. Like, I hope it turns around for the better and the momentum is back on Miro's side, but we'll see how that goes. For now, I'm just kind of not feeling it. Also on the show, FTR against Best Friends in a brush for greatness for the tag titles.
That's the one match I'm looking forward to the most. I love their tag team wrestling.
Yep. Best friends aren't slouches themselves. This will be a great match where FTR will retain if no decision was made within the 20-minute time limit. At least that's the stipulation for this match.
Yeah.
And also in the main event, what I'm assuming is anyway, Jon Moxley against Lance Archer for the AEW World Championship. That's overall a pretty damn strong lineup tonight.
That lineup is definitely strong. That's pay-per-view worthy. If there was a Night of Champions, take notes, fucking WWE. If there was a Night of Champions...
Wait, hold up. It's Clash of Champions now. You got to get it right.
Whatever. To be honest with you, I prefer Night of Champions because that's, like, better, all right? Anyway, Clash of Champions, Night of Champions, whatever. If there was a Night of Champions, this lineup would be perfect. Anyway, my question, based on all the championships that we have. My question to you, Abba, which championship do you think needs a change?
Needs a change, or do I see happening?
Needs a change.
Gotcha. Needs a change. Not. I'm just looking at this lineup right now and the title matches that they have planned tonight. It's not really all that obvious. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just from my standpoint. But
I want your opinion.
Yeah, of course. But just thinking about it, like, Cody shouldn't lose the TNT title. He just won it back last week, and Orange Cassidy, love him like everybody else does. But at the same time, what has he really done to get this title shot? It's like you got to build that shit to a much better, much more ideal time and place for him. And and for the women's championship, Big Swole. She's nowhere near built up to be on that level. Hikaru Shida will retain. I'm really just thinking more about these two, the tag team titles and the world championship match.
Okay.
More so the world title match, because FTR are great at what they do. I'm a little bit concerned with the fact that they're just rushing through every tag team in the division, which as stacked as it is, and we know how diverse it is with the talent they have planned.
I don't like its time.
Let's be honest.
I hate it. I don't like that.
You don't like the fact that they're rushing through these title matches?
No, not. I'm talking about the time limit for the tag teams. I don't like that.
No, that's not the issue at all for me, at least. But just the fact that they're running through every tag team that could potentially be a pay-per-view match, and for the first time ever that they could market. And thank God they haven't done FTR and the Young Bucks just yet, because it's getting there.
Yeah,
that's what we're approaching at that point. That's got to be safe for a big pay-per-view.
So, do you think, out of all the titles that you just mentioned, do you think the world title needs to change? Because it's Lance Archer and you got Jake the Snake Roberts, who's one of the great mouthpieces ever. Do you think that needs a check? Do you think that title needs a change? The world title.
I mean, I would say I am very definitely leaning more towards the world championship match, the world title needing a fresh scene for itself, because honestly, it needs to be on somebody else. Like Jon Moxley, Jon Moxley's title reign, at least up until the MJF feud, has been very lacking in terms of momentum and just an incentive from our side to care. But the MJF feud pretty much did light a fire under Moxley's ass and his title reign, I will say. I've just been more intrigued in general with Moxley now because of MJF and this whole Lance Archer thing.
Right.
So, but at the same time, maybe that's probably more so because of Lance Archer and Jake the Snake doing their thing. So I definitely, am I gonna stop watching or just get all frustrated with the company if Archer doesn't win the title tonight? No, I'm still gonna watch. I'm still gonna be a fan. But at the same time, I would be perfectly fine with the title change on the for the world title. Like Lance Archer should win the title.
Okay. To me, I think not one title needs to be changed, because here's how I view it. Like, I don't think any title changes needs to happen. But if there was, here's how I feel like what they're doing for the AEW world title. I truly feel they're trying to find that right competitor that Jon Moxley struggles with. I'm talking about like that one rival. I feel like in AEW they're trying to find the right rival for Jon Moxley, right? Like let's go back to the past competitors he had. MJF that he just had not too long ago. In my opinion, MJF is by far a better talker than Jon Moxley. By far. Right? But he's not a better wrestler than Jon Moxley. Right? Darby Allin was the one before that. Darby Allin was what behind the ears, breath smelling like Similac. That nigga's a rookie compared to Jon Moxley. Right? So that was before him. Right? Who Darby Allin before that? It was Brian Cage.
Brian Cage, yeah.
Brian Cage. Right?
It was too early for him to win. He just came in. Exactly. He just came into the company. It
was rushed. He just came into the company. It was a great thing that they added tags into the mix for Brian Cage, which I honestly personally love. But other than that, he was rushed, and like they obviously by doing that, they had no competitors for him. Right? So by looking at the past 3 competitors that Jon Moxley have, it was pretty much slim to none in terms of rivalry, the type of wrestler that he was. That they were,
and the possibility of a title change.
And the possibility of a title change. The only hope that the only two men that I honestly think that would straight up beat Jon Moxley for a world title is Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. Those are the only
because they're now singles competitors.
They're
having this tournament to crown a new number 1 contender for his title.
That's right. Those are the only 2 competitors that I could think of that I would say dead ass straight up they will beat Jon Moxley 1v1. Right? If you want a straight up match, like a technical match, I'm picking Kenny Omega. But if you I'm viewing it like this. If you want to straight up competitive,
it would be a callback to their rivalry from last year. But this time the roles are reversed and it's for the title.
Right. If you want a straight up great storyline, and match, I got Kenny Omega. But if you want a no holds barred feud that is a person that is straight up similar to Jon Moxley, I'm picking Hangman Page. It's a win-win. You feel me? It's a win-win. right? So those are the only two competitors that I could think of that could beat Jon Moxley for a straight up AEW World Title. As of right now, for the title matches that they got up tonight. Right? Oh, today's Wednesday. Duh.
Yeah, it's later tonight.
Yeah, tonight. I don't see any title change that's gonna happen tonight. I think everyone's gonna retain.
Right. And just to go back to what I was thinking, like who should win the titles. I wasn't necessarily saying that it's gonna happen. Just to throw it out there. Like,
yeah,
I don't think there's gonna be any title changes myself, but if I had to pick one that does need, like, I'm not gonna say need, that should happen in a sense, because need is too strong of a word. Because Moxley has been, like I said, he has been somewhat rejuvenated on accounts from that MJF feud.
He's been doing more since MJF. I give him credit for that.
That's true,
and honestly, I'm glad that Cody Rhodes and others told him that, because like before then he was MIA, right? So he was MIA, but ever since MJF, he's been.
I mean, he did have that COVID scare.
No. I get that. But I'm like, ever since MJF, Jon Moxley's been doing more. He's been wrestling more. He's just
been involved.
He's been involved more. Oh shit, I forgot about that. I forgot that Jon Moxley faced Brody Lee. I completely forgot about that. Right? He was honestly the closest, as far as the past competitors, the closest in terms of a rivalry standpoint and a wrestling standpoint that could possibly would have defeated Jon Moxley. Right? He was honestly the closest. Right? But other than Brody Lee, Jon Moxley hasn't had like a true competitor to his level, to Jon Moxley's level, to defeat him for the AEW World Title. I'm just waiting. So, like for you and me, we're waiting for either Hangman Page or Kenny Omega to do it.
Yeah, those are as good as choices as anyone else in that roster.
That's
take
right.
That title off them. And if one of those two men ends up beating Moxley for the title,
it's a win-win.
That adds a huge freaking layer to their impending feud. That is yet to come.
That's right.
And they may have their first match at this tournament to crown a number one contender. Who knows? It might end up being the finals, and then they can come back to it once one of them wins the title. So it wouldn't surprise me if they do that. But we'll see what happens with the anniversary show tonight.
That's right. If they in the finals of that tournament, if it's Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page, I'm sorry, like I wouldn't care about any other match. Like I don't care if it's a tag team match. I don't care if it's an AEW World Title match. I don't care if it's a female match. No, like Kenny Omega and like Hangman Page, they're rivals. They are born rivals based on how.
What if they got FTR and Young Bucks on that show too?
Oh, okay, you know what? I take that. That's like the only exception I got. FTR and the Young Bucks. That's the only exception. Besides
it'll be a huge win. It'll be a huge win if there's other matches on the show that we care about.
Agree. But I'm saying besides FTR and the Young Bucks, I don't think anything else matters if it's Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page.
Right. Okay.
That's the match we've all been waiting to see for over a year.
True. But yeah, hopefully those are our thoughts on the heading into tonight's anniversary show for AEW Dynamite, their 1-year anniversary. I'm looking forward to the show big time. I know Ricardo here is too. So we'll see what goes down with these, if there's going to be any title changes, which we kind of doubt. We gave our thoughts on that. And yeah, hopefully the show will be good. And we'll leave it at that for today. Thanks for checking out another edition of Wrestling Hypothesis Extra. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for any news updates we post on there, as well as any updates on the status of our weekly show and when we decide to drop on that, what day of the week we decide to drop that. We will be back for the big episode 40, our 40th episode of the podcast. Can you believe that, man?
Yeah,
that's
crazy,
insane.
Man. 40
that
episodes.
is insane.
Road to 100. Road to 100. So
actually, let's get to Road to 50 first, because that's more so around the corner.
I think big, bro. I think big. Road to 100.
All right. He thinks big. So let's give him what he wants. So we will be back like I said, guys, we'll be back for that 40th episode for now, this upcoming Sunday. So until then, be safe, guys. Take care.
All right. Later.